Yo, check. What is good? What is? I was trying to get the lighting right. Yeah, I was trying to get the lighting right, dude. What's good? We are live here at the Furious Studios. I just what's going well. First off, what's going on? My name is Furious. San Diego, California is where I reside. Worldwide is where I vibe. And you're tuned in to a special episode of Fired Up and Furious. Fired Up and Furious. I used to do this show on Twitch called Fired Up and Furious like a couple years ago. I rebranded the show to a late night Twitch show. But now, we are doing this show right here, Fired Up and Furious, doing this show. And we're live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on we're live on YouTube, right? We're live on YouTube. That's what's going on. So, but yeah, what's good? I had just finished one of my shows. We just finished doing the morning wake up show. You know, Furious and Scam earlier, and now I'm here. Right now I'm here. So, what's good? But yeah, let's talk about. Let's get into it. I had posted something on Facebook, and I thought I would address it, right? And I get it. Like everybody is there's a lot of pain going on nowadays. There's a lot of pain going on, especially with the events that happened in Texas. Um, but I did have a recommendation for it. I did have a recommendation for it. And before I get into the recommendation, and but wait, before I do that, here's what I'm going to do: is that I'm going to copy. I'm going to post in the comments the link to join the stream. If you want to join the stream and you want to join the conversation, hold on, I need some headphones here. There, that's better. If you want to join the stream and you want to join the conversation, go ahead and tap that link. You must have clear audio. You must have a good camera. I don't want to be messing around with anything janky. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have a good camera, gotta have good audio. Put on your earbuds, whatever. I don't want to deal with anything janky, right? So if you're janky, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm just gonna cut you off. We're gonna treat it like a morning show. Like, hey, caller, you're on the air. But yeah, welcome to Fired Up and Furious. My name is Furious. San Diego, California is where I reside. Worldwide is where I vibe. But before I go into the subject, let me put out some receipts right quick. Let me put out some receipts. Let me put out some credentials. I am a retired Marine, right? I'm a retired Marine. I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. Yeah, 20 years. I have a background of cybersecurity and physical security. I have a background in that. I spent some years overseas. I am a combat veteran. I spent some years overseas working with the State Department under the Marine Security Guard program. A lot of you guys know that. I was a detachment commander for the Marines, which means I was, one of the guys in charge of the security detachment, right? We were in charge of the physical security of the U.S. Embassy and all the personnel and classified material inside that embassy. So, and if you're familiar with my profile and you're familiar with me, you're friends with me, you know that I was stationed at a couple of embassies, right? And that's where I had experience with. And also I did some time, as a Marine, while overseas, on a security detail for the Secretary of State. I did that a couple times, and I was on a security detail as a Marine the for the Vice President of the United States. So I mean, I have, all intents and purposes, I have a background in security. I do. You know what I'm saying? And so those are my receipts. Now I do cybersecurity and I DJ. So they're like, well, shit. I mean, all Furious does is DJ. No, man. I mean, that's what. I mean, I do that. That's my part-time gig. You know what I'm saying? That's my part-time gig. But yeah, let's get in on it. Let's get in on it. So now that you know my receipts, now that you know my credentials, like, oh, what is this guy talking about? This guy don't know what he's talking about. Oh yeah, you know, and And here's the thing, like, and this is why I want to talk about it on Facebook. We make fun of like the keyboard warriors, all the keyboard warriors. I mean, it's one thing, and that's why I do it here on Facebook, because a lot of people, like to post their opinions here on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to address it. I want to address it. I want to do my part and address it. So a couple of I want to say a few years ago, probably right before the pandemic, I was like at a security conference, and I was talking with a bunch of some law enforcement, some police officers, of law enforcement agents from different agencies, and we were talking about what I brought to them is an idea of why do we not put a tactical team at the schools, right? For every school, like a tactical team at every school. Now, obviously, like I said, with my background, running tactical teams, so I was like, hey, why don't we do that? Yeah, it's gonna cost some money, but I think anytime in the security field, if there is a specific threat, you have to deal with it. You have to do what it takes to mitigate that threat. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what it takes to mitigate that threat. So that's where I came up with the idea. I said, why don't we do that? I mean, we assign armed security for the bank, right? We have armed security for jewelry stores. We have armed security to protect, politicians, celebrities. We pretty much assign armed security to protect things of value or people of value. Why don't we do it? Why don't we do it at the schools? Shout out to Steve King. Stephen King posted here. Let's see, Stephen King. Shout out to Stephen King. What's good? Since I know you're about to get into it, but I'll say while I love to see it happen, no one is going to want to pay for it, keeping it real. It'll be great the 1% of the time. Otherwise, the politicians will see it as a waste of money. The other 99%. And sadly, you know what? I mean, I think you're right. Because and we did get into it on my Facebook thing. A Facebook post. But here's one thing I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm not gonna tolerate being disrespected. That's for sure. I'm not gonna tolerate. Like, why is that on Facebook? Whenever somebody posts his opinion, people are so quick to put them down. So why can't you post your opinion, and then if you want to argue, provide facts in an argument? Why do you got to sit there and put them down? Try to. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're so dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. I mean, come on, dude. Why can't we have a discussion? But sadly, like my man Steve King says, I don't think. Yeah, you're right. I don't think we're gonna pay for it. But it's gonna take. It's gonna take a lot of momentum for it to happen, right? That's why I said anything like, hey, yo, I put the link down there in the chat. So if you want to jump in and you want to have a conversation with me, come have a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? Come have a conversation with me. What up, Marcina? What's good? Well, I mean, I know. This is like Ross says. Most discussions are based on faulty information. Okay, well, I'm coming up with the idea. Ross, I'm sure Ross has experience in this as well. Is that when there's a problem, we come up with a solution, and we all get together, and we game plan it. You know what I'm saying? We sit there, we game plan it, we come up with ways to solve the problem. What do they call it in the Marine Corps? McPP, Marine Corps planning process. And we would do this at the embassy too. We would do this at the embassy. We would all, there was this team called the country team. It's made up of every department head at that embassy and the ambassador and the deputy chief of mission. All the department heads are part of this country team, and me as the Marine commander, and we're there. And then so anytime we have a problem, and then we need to game plan it, we all get together and we plan it together. But obviously you have your area of expertise. You speak on the behalf of your area of expertise. Edwin, what's good? Shout out to a man, Mark Cena. So that's all we're doing here, Ross. Is we're just talking about it. By no means that I have come up with a 100% plan and proof. That by no means that I did that. I came up with an idea. You know what I'm saying? And then so all we're going to do is that we're going to figure out how viable is this. And I get it. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of challenges to my idea of putting a tactical team at every school. How about maybe we can start at private schools? I bet private schools will pay for it. You know what I mean? Ross says public discourse can be productive if people did a minimal amount of research before they state their opinion. True. True. Minimal amount, but it takes time, right? It takes time, right? But you're right, man. As I went through this discussion, and now people are commenting left and right. But what I'm not gonna tolerate is you talking to me like I'm stupid and trying to make me out like I'm stupid in your comments. Like this chick, she was like, "Well, next." I'm like, the hell out of here with that, man. The F out of here with that. Next. Like, so dismissive, dude. You know what I'm saying? The question is, this outside topic, is your current house using the VA loan? No, it's not. No, it's not. Actually, I've already refied. I'm on my second loan. I've already refied, so we're good. The refi is so good that my military retirement covers the mortgage. So the good news, I will never be homeless. I have solar. My military retirement covers the mortgage. I will never be homeless. I may not have it. I may not have anything else, but I will have power and I will have a roof over my head. Faux show. Steve King says there is probably no 100% solution. People need to get out of that utopian idea and focus on what we can do right now to at least improve the odds. And you know what's crazy? What's crazy is that on this post, you can go look at my post on my Facebook. If you're friends with me, you can come check it out. That all the dissent inside that post provided no alternate solution. I said, well, okay. If you don't like my idea, what's the solution then? Or what's your recommendation? Nobody came up with a recommendation and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody came up with a recommendation. All they wanted to do there is attack me and basically try to say I'm stupid. But I was trying to keep the conversation. See, if you notice my comments, they're very well. I try to make sure they're well written. I try to make sure I sound professional, and not at any time am I attacking you when I do a rebuttal. And that's the problem nowadays. Like, why can't we just have a conversation about it? Why do everybody got to point? Well, you're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. Why does the automatic go out there? Steve King says, improve the odds of survival in law enforcement response. Yeah. It depends on your location as well, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough, I think I had mentioned, well, let me talk about it briefly. I am a father, okay? So just so you know, I'm a father of 2 kids. But my kids are adults now. They're adults. I have one 21 going on 22, and I have one 18 going on 19. Both college students. Both are going to college. One's at, my oldest at SDSU. My youngest is at UCSD. Yeah, I get it. There's probably some type of competition there. Or my youngest is like telling the oldest, yeah, I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm at a better school than you, so you suck. So I get it. Then, you know what? Like, my youngest, he'll smile, and he'll be like, yeah. He won't admit that he want to be better than his brother, but I know the real deal. So yeah, I do have two kids, you know, and there was a time when there was an active shooter when the kids were in high school. There was an active shooter um, at the high school when both my kids were there. I think my oldest was a senior, and my youngest was either a freshman or sophomore. Yeah. And when I got the text from my kids, it said, "Hey, there's an active shooter situation. I just want to let you know we're safe. We're locked in." I was on my way to work, and I turned right around. And I head straight for the school. I put my police scanner on, and to listen to what's going on, and I got right in front of the school. Now let me, and I parked in front of the school to observe and watch. Now, all I know was that my kids are in danger. What am I going to do? And I thought about that. What am I going to do? So let's back up though. Both my kids are brown belt in martial arts, Kenpo karate. They're both brown belts, so they're both capable of handling themselves on a man-sized target. You know what I'm saying? I taught both my kids the difference between cover and concealment. We talked about that. The difference between cover and concealment. Concealment just hides you, does not protect you. Cover is going to hide you and protect you. And we talked about examples of what those are. We also talked about with my kids is that if someone is if the assailant is within 1 arm's distance of you, then you should more than likely do something. But you have to believe it. You have to have the confidence. Don't execute until you got to have it inside you and know that you are going to do what you're going to do. Have a plan in your head of what you're going to do and execute it with confidence. I said your chances of survival is going to increase if that occurs. 1 arm's distance. Just make it happen. If there is a distance that you have to close in order to get to the assailant, if you feel they're within a distance where you can close the distance and execute your plan, then you got to think about that. But once you move, have all the confidence in the world that you're going to execute it. There can't be no hesitation. So we went over this. We talked about this. Just like with the Marines when I was on the embassy, we practiced, we rehearsed. We rehearsed over and over again. This right here, look at this. Most people aren't willing to sacrifice the convenience of security. This right here is the reason. Nobody wants the freaking security. One of the embassies I was with, we had a anthrax situation. The mail room was in the basement. It's the bottom floor or whatever. Not the basement, but the underground level. And so as soon as I got the word there was an anthrax situation, I immediately shut down, had the elevator shut down. I immediately stopped the ventilation system, and I immediately ordered the Marines to not let anybody enter or leave the the underground level until we have the chemical people come to dispose of this thing, and then we have to check everybody to make sure they're not we have to decontaminate everybody, right? Because we're not sure. And most people are and so what happened was that there were people like, well, I have to go to my office. I left my purse upstairs. I have a meeting. I have a lot of work to do. All of these people were concerned about what they still had to do aside from the threat. And I told the Marines, I said, do not let anybody go up the elevators. Do not let anybody go up the stairs. Use the necessary force to stop them if they do. And once I told them that, that's exactly what they did. Now over there while we're overseas, we work for the regional security officer. That is a State Department staff. We work directly for them. So, abbreviated as RSO. So the RSO, the deputy, came up to me. He's like, no, you need to let him go. I'm like, what do you mean? I said, if I let them go, they're going to go over there and they're going to contaminate everybody. Anyways, long story short, convenience won that day. Convenience won. You know what I mean? Convenience won. So I see your point, Ross. You're absolutely right. And here's the thing. As I'm reading these comments on my post, and I know what they want to say. They want me to say, well, the solution is get rid of the guns. The solution is get rid of all the guns. That's what they want me to say. Or that's what they want. They want me to come out my mouth, get rid of all the guns. Hey, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I'm going to say this clear for everybody. You will never get rid of all the guns. Never. Never. The only one that pays attention to these rules are law-abiding citizens. Bad guys, look, I'm going to eye sockets to your soul. I'm going to look at you right through your eyes. The only ones that these rules affect, I'm not going to say that. But the bad guys will be able to get their hands on guns. That's just the bottom line. You will never, ever be able to get rid of the guns. Never. Never. Get that through your head. Never get rid of the guns. Bad guys will always find a way to get guns. That's just the bottom line. Now, after reading on the article, reading how this kid was able to get guns, that would not have happened here in California because we all know there's a 10-day waiting period. We all know that there's no high round magazines. You know what I'm saying? That there, at least it wouldn't have happened within that time frame. All right. Background check. If you don't have anything on your record, a background check is not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're gonna come up clean. If you've done nothing in your life but you're angry, your background check will come back clean. So you won't be able to get rid of the guns. Background check, it's if you didn't do anything wrong, you're still gonna be able to buy guns eventually, right? The only way to do it is to mitigate the threat. The threat will always exist, and you have to mitigate it. The threat will exist, you'll have to mitigate it. You know what I mean? So, in your opinion, do we keep guns away from those who shouldn't have it and protect the Second Amendment at the same time? I mean, yes, keep guns away from people that don't have it, Second Amendment, okay, well, let's talk about that, This assault rifle type of weapon. I said it, I own guns, right? But I said it before, though. There is no rhyme or reason, unless you're a law enforcement person, for you to have an assault rifle type weapon. There is no rhyme or reason for you to have one of those. Well, I need it for home protection. No, you don't. If you can't protect your home with a shotgun and a handgun, then come see me. Come see me. I'll train you. I'll train you so you can do that. Now, if you live like on a farm and you have acres of lands, right? Those assault rifle type weapons for engagements 300 meters and out, right? 300 to 500 meters, right? If you have lots of land, then I get, yeah, okay. I need to defend my home. If you have acres of land, then yeah, yeah, okay. But if you're in California, you don't got no acres of land. You don't need an assault rifle type weapon, dude. You can defend you're not gonna tell me you're going hunting. Well, I'm gonna go hunting. I'm gonna go hunting. You know. You're like that chicken hawk. I'm gonna go hunting. Big ass gun. No, man, you don't need one, dude. You don't need that. So, right to bear arms is one thing, but man, my professional opinion, you don't need it. There is no rhyme or reason for you to have one. You know what I mean? No rhyme or reason. Let's go through these comments. All right. So we answered Mr. Ortega's Second Amendment stuff, right? Welcome all comments. There needs to be a discussion and all compromise, not a fear of losing power of firearms. Yeah, I mean, I get it. And I know that's what they want me to say. Oh, let's get rid of the guns. You're not going to get rid of it. You're never going to get rid of the guns. Ever. Bad guys will always have guns. That's bad guys will always, that's an easy assumption. You know what I mean? That's an easy assumption. The only more gun reform. Here, well, let me just speak about California. Like, what else do you want in California? Like, what else do you want? Like, as far as gun reform, like, hell, like, shoot, the weapon doesn't even perform like it's supposed to. So, you know, I welcome all comments. There need to be discussion, compromise, not a fear of losing power or fear of firearms. No, I get that. Let's have an open discussion. But I want to be able to discuss without people trying to call each other stupid and stuff, you know, or people trying to talk down to somebody. I'm not gonna tolerate. I said I would never tolerate somebody talking down to me in person. You know what I mean? I don't. Why would I do it online? You know what I mean? Never. Those of y'all that have been on active duty with me know I don't tolerate anybody talking down to me. You know, no matter what rank they are. You know that. You know how many times have I gotten in trouble? Because I was like, what? Say again, sir? Say again? All right. Let's start with Steve King. A step in the right direction is removing the tools that empower an untrained 18-year-old to be able to take down two law enforcement officers to commit the atrocity that they did. We do not let people run around with C4 or dynamite. What's the common denominator in the vast majority of these mass shootings? These tools make it too easy. They need to be better regulated, like how dynamite or explosives. Okay, I agree. There is no rhyme or reason why, like I said, now you already just hurt my stance on this assault rifle type of weapon. No rhyme or reason why he should have been able to get that. As far as being able to take down two law enforcement officers, I don't know, man. I'll get into that later. I'll get into that later. You know. Regarding security and convenience, just look at 9/11. People first whined how it could happen, then whined how long airport lines were due to increased security. Look at that. The government created a program. TSA. You know? For a specific threat. The terrorist threat. Right? On board the airplanes. You mean to tell me you can't create a program that protects children? That protects kids? Is that what you're saying? You can't. You want to send billions of dollars to another country. Hey, government. I do work for the government, right? They're like, yo, what are you doing? But no, I'm just saying facts. I'm saying facts. You know? I mean, they sent billions of dollars to another country. I mean, we could have used that here. You know? And having spent some time with the State Department, I was able to see firsthand the amount of money and support that we give these other countries, right? Yeah, so, yeah, they'll get used to it, right? They'll get used to it. So, Ross, the thing that no one is talking about is the potential of a trained shooter running up into one of these places. Right there, right? I'm not a sociopath, but I'll say that if I had the weapons and ammo, the raised platform, high angle shooting, I would take out hundreds, not thousands, at the Vegas MGM shooting. Target rich environment where they had no cover. So that's a different level of threat right there. That's a different level of threat. I'd say, well, I guess I can state the obvious. Let me state the obvious here. You know, when I was working with the Secret Service, every angle, every step that the president or the vice president walks is covered, like chess. It's covered. Just FYI. Now is that level of security freaking needed for kids? And I mean, I don't know, no. But if you send me to your, because I have that skill set, right? You send me to your school and say, hey, you know, Furious, I want you to come up with a security plan. I'll come up with a security plan. I want you to come up with a security plan. Here's your budget. Here's your money. I can come up with some. I'll come up with a plan how to do that. You know, I got that skill set. You know. But yeah, I know that's what you guys want. You know. The link is right there in the comments. Right there. Scroll up the link in the comments. If you want to join the conversation, get on camera. Just make sure you have audio. Make sure you got a camera. You got audio. What's crazy is that on my post, you know, like there was this person that was just like, just kept going on and on. But when asked, yo, what's your recommendation? She had none. And she wanted to continue to try to attack me. I'm like, we're supposed to be friends. You're out here attacking me. Like, come on. You know, in a condescending tone. You don't know what you're talking about. I can't stand that shit, bro. You know, I'm here live. Yo, talk to me now. Oh, you're probably at work, so. But call me. You got my phone number. Call me. You know what I'm saying? Call me. You know? Why? And that's my whole point. Why can't we have an intelligent conversation about this? You know? Look at if you just go on this post, I made it public, right? I got nothing to hide. I made it public. I said, this is my post. I explained this concept years ago. Well, can I share it? Maybe I can share it so you guys can see it. You know? Maybe I can, how do I I don't know, man. I thought I could share it so you guys see it, but obviously it's not happening. I said, hey, I explained this concept years ago. Resource and staff, a 4 to 6 person special response team at every school with a 15-inch perimeter fence. Now, it doesn't have to be a fence. It could be anything, but 15 foot was our standard overseas, right? With one supervised entry during school hours. And I would say, who would argue raising taxes for his budget? Okay, Okay. I'm after a while thinking, yeah, everybody will argue because nobody will. No, you know, we want to spend $5 billion to build a library downtown that nobody uses. You know, people will do that. Or like here in my town, they built a public. They spent money to build public transportation, a bus lane. I'm like, yo. Nobody here uses the effing bus. Why? What? You know what I'm saying? Do you spend money on that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's go through these comments. Let's go through these comments right quick. Not on this one, but on my post, right? On my post, right? This person said no. Like who would argue? She said nobody. That's why teachers don't have enough paper for their kids and have side job. Next, there goes that condescending connotation again. Next, like your idea is stupid. Shut up. You know, your idea is stupid. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Why can't we have a conversation? Why do you gotta automatically try to like talk to me like I'm stupid? I already told you my receipts, man. I already told you I'm not stupid. I'm an intelligent person. I have a college degree. I'm like, yo, I'm a retired Marine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I used to brief generals and ambassadors and dignitaries. Would they allow a stupid person to do that? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all that matters is who you ask. You know what I mean? And you gotta have receipts for it. You know. Before I go to the comments that's on this thing right now, let's go to some of these comments. What else? What else they post on there? You know. So the same friend of mine, right? Friend of mine. You know. Obviously, I know what they want to do. They want to go through, talk about, like I said, gun laws, and and that's the thing, gun reform. I get it, man. This one person said, I recommend teacher conceal carry. Now, I do not recommend that. I do not recommend that. Talking with a buddy of mine. He's a lieutenant in homicide for SDPD. And I had asked him, yo, man, let me ask you this. How much training does a cop outside a SWAT team, whatever, how much training do they have as far as tactics, engagement, martial arts, how much training do they have? Like, what do you mean? Like, okay, so you get your training in the academy, how to shoot your weapon, all that stuff, but what about after that? At the time, this is what he said. I don't know what they're doing now, but he said, no, there is none. He said, there is none. We're encouraged to go to the range. That's about it. You see? Now, there are people that train how to engage targets like this all the time. Like consistent training, right? Consistent training. But even the cops don't have that skill set. It's a different skill set. I mean, so I'm pretty convinced that if you just because you go to the police academy, I don't know. I'm not a cop. I'm not a law enforcement. But correct me if I'm wrong. This is me having a conversation with this lieutenant on homicide. Right? They don't have enough. They don't have the training required. Can you imagine that giving a gun to a teacher that does not have a training? You'd be more of a liability. You'd be more of a risk. Does this person understand? And ask the teacher. Do you understand cover and concealment? Do you understand the background? I mean, the background as far as your round. You're responsible for your round as when it leaves the weapon, or do you have the situational awareness to know what's around when you're firing this weapon? Yeah. And that was my example. So with that being said, teacher concealed carry is not good. That's not good because you become more of a liability and you put the kids more at risk because you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Hence goes back to my recommendation of having a tactical team that knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? So I was like, no. But all my replies are, I always try to be more, I try to not to attack the person with all my, Then this person tried to tell me that because I don't have experience in education, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to funding at the school, at the district. I don't know. I don't know that. You're right. I do know security, but I don't know that. That's why we need to talk about it. That's why we need to have different peoples of expertise, to talk about this problem and how we can solve it. Just like when we do planning, right, Ross? When we do planning, we get different people. We get the person from logistics. We get the person from admin. We get the comms guy. We get people just like we did in the State Department. We got people in all these different departments to solve a problem, and you provide your input on your area of expertise. But you're right. I'm not an educator, nor do I have, But the threat of an active shooter is that an educator issue or is that a security issue? I said it's a serious security issue all day. Let's go through these comments right here on this post right here. Let's say let's filter this. Back to Stephen King. What is the first level of threat deterrence? Presence. Shoot, maybe if you can't afford a tactical team, at least get one or two guys visibly armed to stand in front of the building. I mean, maybe. I mean, presence is the first level of deterrence. But I think I don't know. I would go against, like, instead of if you're gonna employ somebody, might as well employ somebody that's trained that can do that, right? Treat gun violence as a public health problem. I can get with that. Gun violence is prevalent everywhere, right? Someone that pointed out to me, Chicago is even more crazy. See, kids, the army teachers is a risk to not being trained, and it's only a matter of time that teacher forgets. Oh yeah, let's just not talk about the negligent discharge that we would get from a teacher, man, right? In the room with there's kids there, right? And that's what I said. This tactical team, right? It's gonna cost money, man. But I mean, do you realize how much money we spend as a government? Everywhere else, supporting all these different countries. I want to say, I'm gonna go out on a limb right here. Aside from the UK, I'm gonna go out on a limb right here based on my experience. Right? I'm gonna go on a limb. The amount of money we have spent in other countries to either have the ability to influence them and their decisions, does not equate to the amount of support and reciprocity that we receive from those other countries. I can talk about one country for show because I was there. In Honduras. I worked in Honduras. And the amount of support, financial support we give, I've seen it. And fast forward, going during the war. When it comes time for us, when we need something, like what did they provide? You know what I mean? The amount of money that we give these does not equate, If there is one thing that I did agree with former President Trump was, let's take care of the USA first, man. And like I said, I don't want to get too much. It's already political as it is, but I did agree with that. We spent all this money everywhere else. That's where you get the money. That's where you can get the money to fund this, right there. $3.1 billion a year, only one minimum wage security at each public school. Yeah, I mean it's a lot. It's a lot of money. It would be a lot of money. I mean, just seeing how much it costs to run my detachment overseas. I know it would cost money. I get that. But we give money everywhere else. That's what I'm saying. That's where we can get the money from. Well, what about the paper? What about paper, pens, and pencils for the kids? I don't know, man. The moment we need money for something else, and that'll be the first thing that gets cut, is the moment we get comfortable. Dude, the government created a whole nother organization to defend against aliens. Not illegal aliens. No. We created a whole other organization. Not illegal aliens I'm talking about. I'm talking about aliens from another planet. We have a whole organization It's real. It's freaking, dude, it's real. Whole government organized to defend against aliens, not illegal aliens, but hot damn aliens from another planet. And you mean to tell me the government can't allocate funds to defend kids? You know, what's crazy? Now we know when the Democrats and Republicans fight almost over every freaking thing. Every freaking thing. Except for one thing. Space Force. That shit boggles my mind. I'm like, yo, the threat's got to be real. Because the Democrats didn't say, well, that's stupid. That's a little stupid. Nobody said that. Nobody called them out on it. They said, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nobody called them out on it. So if we have the money to create a whole new organization to defend the planet against aliens and predators. I'm not talking about predators. I'm not talking about, sexual predators. I'm talking about predators from outer space that would come down here with acid blood, got a mouth in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? That type of aliens. You know what I'm saying? How do we not have the money to defend our kids? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I was hoping somebody, I want to give a big shout out to my man Ross. Big shout out to my man Steve King. What's up, my man Urge? I see you. Oh, because I was hoping that people that would comment on Facebook, they would show up on my show. Speak your piece, but you didn't speak your piece. And so I spoke mine. If, we're going to do this Fired Up and Furious more often. I'm going to do it on Facebook. I'm going to do it on YouTube. I miss having shows like this. Right? So we're going to do this more often. And, man, I definitely appreciate you guys. Definitely appreciate you guys coming through. It was cool. It was good, man. Thank you for providing input back. I appreciate you. Like I said, shout out to Ross, shout out to Steve. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, I think let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to close with that. We got money to defend. Yeah, right? You got to call in, Ross. We got money to defend against aliens of another kind. Right? Aliens are like a riot or follow me on TikTok too, man. I'm trying to get 1,000 followers. But we got money to defend against aliens. Why don't we have money to defend against, active shooters and protect our kids, right? I love y'all. My name is Furious. You guys have an awesome and safe Memorial Day weekend, all right? I love y'all. Peace.